Hey guys, Tyler Ansman here with Tyler Ansman Performance. So today we're going to talk about plyometrics for throwers. So if you saw one of our earlier videos, the stretch shortening cycle and throwing velocity, this will kind of build on that a little bit more specifically in terms of how we implement some of the plyometrics. All right, so I think a couple of things that people get wrong about plyometrics. Force isn't the only lever to pull. We also have to think about rhythm, timing, and relaxation and tension, all right? So if we're just going full intensive, super high, like the equivalent of a depth jump all the time, we're probably missing the boat a little bit. There's other boxes that we need to check in terms of transferring that performance to the field, all right? Second, bands don't just have to be used to intensify a movement. They can be used early in the process to kind of unload some of the movement so we can train with a little bit better rhythm, timing, relaxation, and tension like we just talked about. All right, so I think that's something that's often overlooked is that band-assisted jumps don't just have to be because we're going as high as we can at the end of a triphasic phase, for example. They can also be because our hops suck, maybe coming after an ankle injury or a knee injury or something like that. We're in this return to play phase and want to unload that movement a little bit, or we're getting back into jumping after 20 years. And we want to do this with kind of some band assistance, okay? I think the third thing is, it doesn't all need to be sagittal plane. Let's get out of that some, right? Let's train in all of these planes. Part of what we're trying to do when we're implementing these plyometrics is we want to make sure we're prepared for what we encounter, okay? I think kind of the next point that leads me into is we don't have to be so rigid with what we're planning. We need to leave some room for play where we can explore some new ranges of motion, some different rhythms, all of these things where it's going to show up on the field at some point, possibly, and we'd like to be prepared and have at least touched that quality before it shows up there and we're surprised by it. So strength matters, right? But plyos, especially for the upper body, are an often overlooked part of this. So we want to make sure we leave some room in there for that. All right? Thanks for watching. If you got questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. If you're interested in training, feel free to drop it in the comments or reach out via email. Thanks for watching.